Assalamualaikum. Before I start with the debate, I would like to introduce myself and both government and opposition side. My name is Muhammad Noor Ariff, and I'll be the first speaker for the government, and alongside me are Ashraf and Husna. Meanwhile, the opposition are Amal and Alia. So without further ado, I will explain the history of digital capitalism, first on its economical aspect, and second on its political aspect. I will start with the economical aspect first, but I will need to clarify what is digital system. Digital system is a system that store data in a discrete manner. With advancement of technology, digital systems are now applied to multiple sectors simultaneously. For example, manufacturing and information industry. And thanks to it, it had become ubiquitous into this world. But how does it grow to that extent? Well, it all thanks to digital capitalism. Digital capitalism does not stem mainly from either consumer nor the vendor expenditures. Instead, it came from both parties. Investment in digital capitalism hold both political and economic importance to the business. That's why it warrant investment in equipment related to data carriage, such as communication equipment, accounting and office equipment, had become a key driver in economic growth. This data carriage allows owners, which are large organizations, to list their equipment for commercial purposes. But this causes data networking to be fractured because different companies uses different method instead of one streamlined method. Then, through the advent of internet, data networking has substantially been diminished. But with this exorbitant amount of investment, it undoubtedly will cause a financial crisis. Financial companies had spent billions of dollars in improving the digital networks through investment, such as research and development or R&D for short, and hiring thousands of technical staff. This investment is supported by pushing debt toward any institution or individuals that are using the financial company's services. But when some institutions or individuals did not pay their debt, then the company will need to increase their service charge, will lead to more debt. This led manufacturers that deal with financial companies to use digital network to use cheaper alternatives such as using machine to replace human labor in order to cut labor costs. This causes overcapacity where there is more factory than the demand needed to supply the market. To further cut costs, company had to cut high-wage jobs in order to maintain a large amount of workers for the factories. This wage repression led to a decline of demand in the market. With lower demand, the factories had been run less than their maximum potential, but in the end still did not solve the problem of overcapacity. Okay, for the political aspect, it starts with US domination over the global internet revenue and net income, thanks to its sky-high investment in ICT and digital development. During the 1960s, business users request US government to allow access for improved digital infrastructure and to liberalize the telecommunication technology for the market. But telecommunication leader AT&T, a carrier in United States, had resisted this liberalization of technology. But in 1969, the US government had finally gave way to the liberalization of communication technology, but due to the complexity of the technology, different companies had pursued different methods to utilize the technology, then had set themselves apart from other competitors by specializing in certain aspects of the technology. US takes a step further and called the liberalization of communication to other countries such as Brazil. They also team up with British to fight against policy that disallow the transfer of data transnationally. This liberalization had gone worldwide and causes the rise of internet. The internet allows a system where digital network is operated by corporation and public sector instead of government. Consequently, corporations start to invest into telecommunication in less developed countries. But new problem emerged as debate on how internet should be ruled is called out. Firstly, the internet is controlled by government, but it was highly non-commercial, which led corporations to press them to alter the rule. But in the end, the international community had to agree on a rule that sided with United States, albeit with some resistance from other countries like England and also China. But this causes problem because debt are still unsolved, and in order to increase economic activities, new marketable product must be created. But this also rely on the currently problematic digital network. And to monitor the needs and interests of civilians, countries have used mass surveillance which breaches human rights. Lastly, this shows that the rules are heavily sided on benefit of the United States instead of focusing on human rights. Therefore, we believe that digital capitalism should be abolished because it led to surveillance capitalism and also create inequality.